YouTube, what's good? It's your boy, Paul Harris, aka the Crazy Uncle. Hey, guess what? If this your first time tuning in, go ahead. Hit the doggone subscribe button. Hit notification bell every time I post some new content. Uh, Sorry I'm a little late. But I had other stuff I had to handle first. Yes, I have my tasty beverage. And I'm titling this show America is Egypt. Don't get gypped by the Egyptian. Right? So and the only reason why I'm coming up, only reason why I decided to come up with this particular because I truly, honestly believe that what I've been pretty much watching all day has been a direct result of what happened a few weeks back, and the show that I did a couple of days ago about the which now I'm calling it the Memphis incident, right? And sometimes you kind of like just shit just pop in your head, and then I was on another YouTube channel where the guy he actually really broke it down a hell of a lot. Well, I ain't gonna say he broke it down more than what I did because me and this guy we was actually like really saying the exact same thing. He just put the sports world into it, right? Which again, I ain't got no problem, with that, But here's the deal, people. You know, and for those of y'all that most people should know this. Whatever it is that you actually really talk about, right? And regardless of what the lovely people at Google may say, right? Where that they don't actually really listen in on your conversations through your phone or whatever it is that you actually really watching on television, right? These motherfuckers know what you up to. 24 hours. Well, put like this. These motherfuckers know what you are up to within a 24-hour period. Because there's no such thing as 24 hours in a day, right? During a 7 day period. So this, this is like a foregone conclusion that the United States government doesn't know what the fuck each and every one of us is doing. So in our case, right, I did that, and then all this stuff started coming up on my news feed as far as like YouTube goes. So I'm sitting up here and I'm watching it or whatever, and it's other stuff that I've actually really heard before, and it's almost like connecting the dots in a sense. And so you get something from one person from their channel, and then you were like, okay, I'll take that and run with it, and then you get something from another channel, and then you say, okay, I'll take it and run with that one as well. And then after a while, you start motherfucking connecting the dots of shit. But my whole deal is with this whole thing about America being Egypt or America being either the old Egypt or the new Egypt, right? Because a lot of people tell you that the whole slave thing, which again is probably gonna play a real is probably gonna be an important piece into what I'm talking about here. But my whole deal is this, people. You know, uh, a lot of it, because I'm trying not to go too fast because the shit is just like But the whole thing is this, people. The 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 pyramids over there in Giza, right? No doubt about it. It's a magnificent sight. It really is. But here's the deal. For the most part, a lot of people, two things have happened with the pyramids of Giza, right? They're actually like really say, oh, well, the Egyptians did that, right? Some people say, well, the Egyptians did it, and then they don't know how they did it, right? Or then they'll say aliens came down and built the pyramids. But then I also, I look at that and I'm like, okay, well, if aliens came down to build the pyramid, how come the motherfuckers ain't been back since? Right? And I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't believe in aliens. Uh, I look at that thing that happened in '47 down there in what was it, Roswell or whatever. I just look at it like this: if you are alien, so-called alien, right? How come you look like me? I mean, granted the fact your eyes are a little bit bigger or way bigger than the actual humans. Your head may look a little swollen. You got a big head on a little body. And for the most part, you can walk around today and find people, they got a big ass head and a little bit body. But these motherfuckers want us to believe that, hey, look, aliens that came down. Yeah, okay. Fuck games as usual. So in either case, just like I said, the aliens didn't motherfucking build the motherfucking pyramids of Egypt. And I'm almost about ready to say that the Egyptians didn't do it, because the thing about it though is this. They'll let you, again, go back and look at the history books. A lot of people say, hey, look, that was slave labor. Right? Now whether the Egyptians enslaved their own people, hey, it is what it is. But my whole deal is somebody lying somewhere, right? And then, I'm just looking at the simple fact, okay, let's just say for shits and giggles that the Egyptians built the pyramids. Then the whole thing with the Israelites, that happens. But we already know the story that happened over there in Exodus. Moses come down, whatever, free all the Hebrews or the Israelites. And so they to and fro the doggone wilderness of Sinai for 40 years, right? Then they go on over into Canaan's land or whatever. And then everybody lives happily ever after. And so then, but just like I say, what a lot of people don't understand, and I'm backtracking a little bit, is that if you actually really go back and look at the history of the Bible, right, which this is what a lot of these other folk that sit up here hollering about America is Egypt, this is what the fuck they doing. So if you actually really go back before the flood, right, it wasn't anything mentioned about the pyramids of Giza, the Sphinx. None of that stuff was actually like really mentioned before the flood. You didn't hear about the pyramids until after the flood. After all of the water then descended down, right? Then, we got pyramids. We got a Sphinx, right? And then the thing, and so the thing what really gets me, right? Because I was looking at this one guy, right? Because they were talking about the name of Egypt before it was actually really called Egypt, right? And so again, this actually really goes back to, okay, who are you really, right? If you know damn well that you are in a place anywhere on the face of the earth, if you know you there before somebody put a name on it, right? Then damn it, that's what the hell you are. Don't sit up here and try to put a damn tag on me and say, oh, well, we gonna call this land this, and this is what the hell we gonna call the people. No, motherfucker, that is not how the song goes. That's just as bad as you calling me a doggone Native American, right? When I was actually like really here, or my peoples was already here before it was called America. All right. So in our case, so let's just say for whoever built the pyramids, right? Then for whatever reason you say, well, fuck it, I'm out. I don't want to be in Egypt no more. So I'm gonna go. I'm either gonna get on a boat, or I'm gonna go as far up north as possible, catch the Bering Strait over, come down in America, right? Because you know they did it in the Ice Age, right? So and so again, right? You really gotta look at, you really gotta stop and think about, okay, who built, you really gotta stop and ask yourself, okay, who built what and when and why, right? Because like I said, you can take all of your technologies, all of your all of your skills, whatever it is you want to call it, and you take it somewhere else, right? And then you like, okay, this is like a good spot, and then you start building, right? And I'm actually really looking up something right fast. So then you start building, right? And you'll be like, okay, hold on, wait a minute, y'all. I'm trying to do something here because I'm actually really, I'm getting to a point here. What direction? Okay. All right. Now that I got that out the way, because I just actually really looked up something. It's like, okay, what direction do most rivers flow? Which again, this is going to be an important key of what I'm talking about here, and on the reason why I'm calling this whole Egyptian or America is Egypt bullshit, right? And so the whole deal is this. So you leave your homeland and you carry your ass across that water, right? And you build, right? And so basically, so just because you didn't build this here, and then you go over here and you build the exact same shit, then motherfucker like, Egypt. That is not how the song go, people, right? And then they gonna sit up here and they want to motherfucking, they want to compare the Nile River to the Mississippi River, right? Now, here's here, here's something else. Here's something else that you actually really gotta stop and think about. Uh, you gotta be like, okay, well, the Nile River is the longest river in the world, and the Amazon River is a close second, and the Mississippi River is, I really don't even think it's in the top 20, right? So, so basically, what these people did, right? They look at that shit back. They look at how shit was over there in Egypt, and then they look at that stuff over here. Then they gonna say, "Oh, this is Egypt." No, people, because hold on, let me do this again. Which way does the Nile River flow? I'm looking up which way does the Nile River flow. So it goes from, okay, so to the north, right? So here's the deal, people. I tend to look at this the same way that I look at the two biggest planets in the solar system. You got Jupiter and you got Saturn, or depending on who the fuck you talk to, Satan, because it's the sixth planet in order and it travels at a velocity of 6 miles per second and the inner ring is 6,000 miles away from the planet. 666 all goddamn day long. You don't believe me? Go look that shit up yourself. Now, you look at Jupiter. Jupiter is pretty. Got the little red spot right there. Got all the moons and shit, right? You look at Saturn. Saturn is just as pretty, if not prettier. But I just told you, that's Saturn or Satan. And the thing about it, though, is this. If anybody has even watched the movie Devil's Advocate, what did Al Pacino say at the very end? He said, vanity is my greatest sin. That beauty will get your ass every goddamn time. It's no different than when you go to the club, you already been drinking, and the lights is low, and you see somebody pretty, or you think they pretty, so you talk, blah, 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 and then once they cut them damn lights on, then she looking like, damn it, I'll bite you. You know? So it is what it is. So in our case, people, I look at it like this, right? You want to compare the United States to Egypt. You want to compare the Nile River to the Mississippi River, and then depending on who the fuck you talk to, they want to say that the Nile River is the Euphrates River. And then again, I'm just like, okay, well, they so many miles apart, and then again, they don't even connect, and even if they do, it's like right there at the very end, right? So, and then the thing about it though is this: most rivers, they start up north and they flow down south, because that's how it is with the Mississippi. It starts up north and it flows down south. The Nile, on the other hand, starts south and flows northward. So again, and then the Nile River is damn near twice the size or twice the length of the Mississippi. Okay, so again, people, a lot of people want to say, hey, look, this is the new world. And then you get people saying, no, this is the old world. Well, guess what? It may be old to your ass, but let somebody else come across that water. Then it's the new world to them. All right? Now, just like I said, again, you come over here and you put like this, you build in your homeland, wherever that is. And then for whatever reason, listen, the laws of nature is always involved here, right? So I could be like, you know what? Because here's a prime example. And I should have did this before I even started, because I did 21 years in the United States Army, right? And I really wrote a book about my career, right? AR 670 I'm gonna have to excuse the glare, but AR 670 Harris, my life in the United States Army. Amazon.com. Type of book by Curtis Harris. Go ahead and pick up your copyright fast, right? So, but another case, right? I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas, and so just know it's human nature would tell you, hey, look, go see what else is out there for you. Get out of your place of origin. Go venture out. Go see what else is out there. Because you already know what the hell going on in your little in your little corner of the world. Right? Yeah, I mean, I great the fact everybody ain't gonna do this. Right? But I feel like, okay, if you're gonna if you're actually like really trying to be a better person than, and you know, as far as like how you treat other people, then yeah, you need to get your ass out of your homeland or your hometown or whatever. Go venture out, and please don't say, well, everybody's the same. No, again, that is not how the song goes, people. So in either case, like I'm saying, right? You and I've been saying this, you know, the whole time, right? You know, you didn't build up some stuff, and it's rather spectacular. And so you say, well, you know what? I'm gonna take my talents on the road, and then you take your talents and you come across this water, and then you stop here in America, and you start building shit here, right? That don't make it Egypt, people, right? You know, because they're like say, you know, I didn't, and I don't know. A lot of people be like, you know, because I've actually really done some stuff on the Grand Canyon, and you know, they say there's shit down there that people can't, you know, that they don't, you're not allowed, you know, you're not allowed to go to in the certain areas in the Grand Canyon, right? Which you know, I don't doubt, you know, because they may find out something is down there that ain't supposed to be down, that you know that, oh damn, okay, people lived here, right? But then again, it's no different than the doggone city of Atlantis. People lived there until it fell off, right? So, I mean, you got to ask, okay, well, you know, what are we really doing here? What is it that we actually really trying to? What is it that we actually really trying to prove here? It's just for the simple fact that okay, even way back then, people had enough sense to move. Of course they did, right? So for the most part, you pretty much telling me some shit that I already know. So, but don't sit up here and be like, "Oh, this is Egypt." Just because you see some damn pyramids, right? That don't mean that your ass is in Egypt, okay? And then you know, like I said, you know, it's a lot of stuff. You know, see, it's a lot of stuff that they done. You know, a lot of these folk then took from the Bible. This right here. Well, I'm gonna show you a little trick about the Bible. Y'all can actually really see it right there, right? Authored by King James. Meaning, this is how he saw it, right? But even then, if you really don't know how to read this, then yeah, you gonna go off and say some bullshit like, okay, America is Egypt, right? You know, not to say that, because again, you almost, you know, because basically all what the fuck these people are saying is that if they would have just said, okay, well, look, people move and they build a new home, and then I'd have cleaned up on that, right? It's no different than what the fuck happened to Adam and Eve. If indeed you want to believe in Adam and Eve, right? They was up there, they was happy, they was in the garden, then they fucked that off, and then Yahweh said, hey, you know what? Y'all some hard-headed kids, get out. Right? And so that's how you spread out. You go venture out and say, ooh, let me see what's over here. Oh, ooh, let me see what's over there. Or let me see what's back there. Right? So, you know, so again, people, you know, because, you know, and I used to talk about this all the time, right? So it's, you know, when when motherfuckers was hollering about, talking about, Africa is the origin of everybody. And then I look at that and, and I always call bullshit on it because the thing about it though is this. When the first two people got here, all of this was just one big ass landmass. So you tell me if you can find Africa and all of that, then by all means, right? But then again, they already told you where the Garden of Eden was at, between the Tigris and the Euphrates River. Now you go Google that shit today, you tell me where it's at. Right? But then again, you got some people say, oh, well, that ain't where the Garden of Eden was at. Okay. All right. So, again, it all depends on who the hell you want to listen to and why the hell you want to listen to them. Just like I say, everybody ain't going to always want to listen to the crazy uncle. And for the most part, I ain't got no problem with that neither. Right? But all what the crazy uncle is asking is to be like, whatever the fuck it is that you watch, whatever documentary that you watch, just know that people move, right? And they start somewhere else, because you can best believe whoever built the pyramids, whether it was the Egyptians, whether it was slave labor from other folks around that area, right? People move, and then they go, well, hell, damn, I built it over here, so how come I can't build it over there? How come I can't build it where I'm at now? But they ain't gonna call it Egypt. That's just like when I was in the army, right? Everybody knew I was from Little Rock, Arkansas. And I spent most of my damn career in Texas. Not one time that I called where I was at in Texas, Little Rock, Arkansas, because I knew better. I mean, great the fact I ain't build shit, but it's just for some fact, hey, guess what? I know better. Quit calling this shit Egypt. Don't get gypped by the Egyptian people. So, and like I say, again, this is how I'm looking at it. These people, they didn't do anything. They didn't do nothing new. I mean, you move, you build, or you rebuild. It's just like anybody that come over here, put like this. You look at all of the countries in the world today, and the people, they wherever the hell they at, and then they watch the TV, and then they see America in all of its glory, right? And then they're like, you know what? I'm finna come to America, right? To build a new life, right? And just know you're going to always take a little piece of home with you, right? But you actually really know where your ass is from. You ain't finna call your new place where the hell you just come from, right? Now, just like I said, whether they want to call this the new world or the old world or whatever, and which again, that's up for debate. Because like I said, for the people that was already over here, right? It wasn't new to them. And it's because I really talked about the doggone, I talked about the slave trade or whatever. And I said that, a lot of this, will be like evident of what it is that I'm actually really talking about here. So when you actually really stop and look at when all of these discoveries that were found here in America, right? Some of that shit was still going on. Put like this, some of that stuff when they found it, so-called slavery was still going on. And I'm pretty sure if you ask me to go back and look at some of the footage, there was a lot of black folks involved in that. So again, again, depending on who the hell you talk to, a lot of this stuff is. A lot of people tell you that this shit was is told in reverse, which again, I'm just like, I mean, again, I get it, and again, I'm not here to act like really clown anybody on how they view things. I just, whatever the subject is, I'll listen. I'll listen to what you got to say, right? And then once I actually really look at it, then I'm like, okay, well, you can say, well, I know where they trying to go with this, or I know where they going with it. Then I go and listen to somebody else, and then I'm like, okay, well, again, I know where they going with this one, right? But at the same time, right, you got to be like, okay, well, I take what's here and I take what's there, and then I might be like, okay, well, I take from both, and then I come up with this, and then 9 times out of 10, I'm usually right a lot of times, because again, you know, I mean, some of the stuff, I just look at, okay, like, just because, and then, this is a copycat world, people, right? I mean, you see something done, and then you like, okay, well, I like how that look. I'm gonna go build the same thing, but I'm gonna do my own little, I'm gonna put my own little flavor on it, right? It's almost like the first time, put like this, it's almost like the first time somebody cooked fried a chicken, and they went out, they hunt, and they killed it, they skinned it, and they put it on, they cleaned it up or whatever, and then they put it on the fire. And motherfucker goes, this tastes good. Then and then somebody watching you do it and say, you know what, I can do that. I'm gonna go kill me a chicken and I'm gonna clean him up or whatever. But I'm gonna put salt on mine. And they're like, whoo. And then I'm gonna go let the other guy taste it. And then he go like, damn, dog, what the fuck did you do? Oh, I put some salt on it. And then somebody be like, well, damn, I'm gonna go kill me a chicken and cook him and clean him up, put him on the fire, and he didn't put shit on his chicken. He put salt on his. So I'm gonna put salt and pepper on mine, and then I'll let them taste it. And then they're gonna. So see how that shit goes. So my whole deal is quit calling this shit something, because the whole deal is it's like, look, people move, and they build shit to make them that'll be like, oh well, you know what, this feel like home, right? But then again, they don't look at it like this, right? If you so goddamn tired of your home, why you leave and then go build some shit to make it look like or feel like the place you just left from? If you that goddamn homesick, carry your ass back to where the fuck you went, So that's just how, again, it's how I look at things, how I view things. But then again, that's one way to look at it. And it could be for the simple fact, hey, guess what? I'm so good with my shit, I'm gonna take my talents on the road. So that's how you have to look at it. So quit, listen, stop, people. Stop. Right? Copycat world. That's how you look at it. Or at least that's how I'm gonna look at it. Right? So I just thought that I give my little 2 cents or 5 cents or whatever the fuck, right? I just want to like just be like, okay. I mean, now, great fact, if put like this, if you want to take it and run with that, then hey, by all means, you take it and run with it all goddamn day long. I ain't gonna look at you no different. But all what I'm saying is that this is how I look at it. This is how I see it, right? So, hey, it is what it is. So with that, I almost forgot. Super Bowl Sunday, right? February 12th, 2 days before the infamous Valentine's Day. And for the most part, I'm almost like, okay, well, I know what a lot of the motherfuckers gonna be trying to do. Because they want to try to go out and get their girl or their wife or whatever, that one gift or whatever. And again, I ain't got no problem with it. But you gonna actually really take all your little your little few coins that you can spare, and you gonna bet it on that game. But even more so, and now that I actually really stop and think about it for a minute, so everybody's saying, oh, this is the first Super Bowl with 2 black quarterbacks. And then knowing what the fuck next month represents Black History Month. So I'm just looking at it like this, people. I tend to, I tend to look at this the same way that a lot of y'all look at President Obama. A lot of y'all swear him down that he was the first one to do it. Not realizing there was 7 other folk did it before he did. Right? And so for the most part, you almost got to ask yourself, right? Let's just say that Doug Williams, a lot of people will say, okay, Doug Williams, he was the first black to go to a Super Bowl and win one. Right? But then again, if you actually really stop and really look at, if you stop and really look at this, right? You almost want to go and now, granted fact, these are football players. So, they're not going to actually really go in depth of who your mama and daddy was or who your grandparents were. Right? They really ain't gonna go that goddamn far. But the thing about it is this: don't sit up here and believe what these motherfuckers tell you. Right? And then, well, shit, since we're talking about it, right? I might as well just go ahead and give my prediction on who's gonna win and why. Right? If you want to put it like this, the so-called Native American or the American Indian or the natives of this land, they used nature to their advantage. And if you actually really want to go ahead of it, if you actually really want to go a little bit deeper than that, again, we're gonna go to the Bible or whatever. And then we all know what happened on the 6th day, right? Adam come about, and then what did Yahweh tell Adam? He said, guess what? You got control over all of the animals. Whether they walking around, whether they flying or swimming. You got control over all of it. Whatever they tell you to, whatever you tell them to do, guess what they gonna do. Now, with that being said, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dad, tell Big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door, cross the street, round the corner. Paul's Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Till next time.